Perfect name, Peter Simm sells Sims. But not just any Sim, our Sims work. And that's really important, particularly in this connected society.
And so Mobius Network connects up transport networks. There's connectivity, but there's reliable connectivity, and I just think to myself, if I take a train, trying to do anything on a train, even using the train Wi-Fi or tethering my phone, can be remarkably frustrating because the signal keeps dropping in and out. So how can we have a connected transport network which actually does what it needs to do?
Buy from Mobius Networks is the simplest answer, but it's about building an engineered solution. The train Wi-Fi is really a Heath Robinson cobbled together piece of equipment. They've got a really good bit of hardware, but they're putting the cheapest Sims that they can in it, and it's in a Faraday cage, moving at speed through the countryside that hasn't got the best level of mobile coverage, and everybody wants to download, a film or an app or whatever. It could never work in the way that it's been engineered, but it could do. It could work.
And how could you make it work?
By working with the networks, which we do on a daily basis, providing them with a revenue stream, because that's the other thing why the trains doesn't work. If you've got an unlimited SIM for 30 quid, and you're trying to get 500 gig through it every day, the networks are really going to turn down the speed. Well, if you work with the networks, say, look, this is what we're trying to do. Instead of turning the dial down, they'll turn the dial up, and it would make it work.
So here we are at the JCT Traffic Signals Symposium. We've got a room full of people behind us who are traffic signals engineers or highways engineers. What can they get out of Mobius Networks?
Our SIM works first time, every time. So this hall's full of hardware manufacturers and suppliers and contractors, and we supply SIMs to most of them. And they use Mobius because they know the one good thing that they've got is a SIM that will work. They're not fiddling about with a laptop on site, under an umbrella, in the rain, screaming, work your bugger. They know our SIMs will work, which makes everybody's life so much easier.
Now, I notice behind the strap line on your stand is secure and reliable. Now, the secure bit is really important because we can have all the connectivity, but the number of cyber attacks are just off the top of my head. We've got Heathrow Airport, we've had Transport for London, just two examples of times when people who are in here could actually end up facing a cyber attack that could cripple what they do. How do we stop that happening?
Again, buy a SIM that's built to deliver secure communications. Mobius invests heavily in the back office to make our network secure. We're the only reseller in the UK that's got the payment industry digital security standard. That's the pinnacle of cybersecurity because it's a living, breathing thing. We have updates minute by minute, hour by hour, and we implement them to make sure that our network is as secure at that moment in time as it possibly can be. And it's used by the credit card industry, it's used by AWS as a new standard, Yale University use it, so it's becoming the thing to be PCI accredited. And unfortunately, or fortunately, Mobius is the only one in the UK.
And frankly, security shouldn't just be an afterthought. It has to be built into everything that you do.
It has to be built into everything. Can you imagine that if we had a cyber attack, we've had the airports over the weekend? Imagine if that was National Highways. Imagine if it was TfL's UTC section. Gridlock in London for not hours, but for weeks while they try and recover. It'd be madness if you ignored cybersecurity.